So we'll start discussing the syllabus and the important syllabus areas in your ACCA Dip-IFR. Before that, a very quick introduction about myself. Uh, my name is Syed Muhammad Ali. I'm accounting and finance professional. Uh, Dealing with accounting and finance all through my life. I mean, this is the only thing I know and only thing I did. I've been teaching this DipIFR since 2007, actually late 2006. So I can say that I was one of the first few teachers who started teaching this IFRS because DipIFR was introduced in 2004 by ACCA. The purpose of this qualification DipIFR is to provide, a quick route, a shortcut to learn IFRS. Now, you know that IFAC, which is the main body, they have an objective, and then IASB together, IASB and IFAC, they have an objective of promoting IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. And ACCA is a partner with them, because ISB, they create standards, but they do not provide learning to the people. They do not provide degrees or diploma. They only provide the standards. And then they, of course, do all whatever is within their domain to promote the IFRS standards. Now, you know that a lot of countries in the last 20-25 years have moved to IFRS implementation. I mean, everybody is moving to international financial reporting standards. And for that purpose, you need qualified accountants who can actually implement the IFRS. So if in any country, if ISB is negotiating with any country, and if any country wants to implement IFRS, so, I mean, they can just create the law or they can bring in IFRS, but they need people who would actually be implementing it, executing it, and you need human resource for that. So when it comes to learning or, how to say skill development in terms of IFRS, so then ACCA is the qualification, which is actually based on IFRS, because in ACCA, you've got 13 exams, and these 13 exams are actually from different knowledge areas. It includes financial accounting and reporting. It includes management accounting and performance management. It includes financial management. It includes audit, taxation, business management and stuff. But the issue is that the people who are actually working accountants who need to implement the IFRS, many of them, they have their own qualification from their own universities. They are working in accounting department for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and so on. And they are not really motivated to pass 13 exams of ACCA. And in fact, they really do not need to. I mean, if you are a chief accountant and you are responsible for, or you are engaged or involved in preparation of financial statements, why would you be paying attention or taking exams in taxation or in audit or in financial management or in cost accounting? These are not your domain areas. You are not really interested in getting a new additional qualification. You already have a master's in accounting from your local university. Why do you need ACCA? You're not really interested. Besides, if you even start taking it, it will take 3 years. So that implementation of IFRS process is dependent on accountants with good knowledge, with reasonable knowledge, sound understanding of the financial reporting standards. So considering this need that we need to equip people with IFRS knowledge, but people are not interested in 13 exams. So ACCA created this qualification, which is called DipIFR. So this is a qualification by ACCA. So within 13 exams, so if I say that these are the 13 exams of ACCA, which includes financial accounting, financial reporting, management and cost accounting, performance management, financial management, taxation, audit, etc. This part, it deals with financial accounting and financial reporting. And this knowledge is actually, they separated it and they call it DipIFR. So when you take this exam, DipIFR, you are given one diploma. which testifies that this person is capable, or this person is acknowledged as, capable of preparing financial statements based on IFRS. So from within the ACCA, you take out the financial accounting and financial reporting knowledge and you just take one exam. This was the purpose of creating this qualification. And this is actually very popular in those countries where, like, which have been, how to say, joining, or which are in the process of transition to IFRS. And mostly, and this is one reason that they put some, minimum work experience requirement, that you should have 3 years work experience, because this is not aimed at students. This is aimed at working professionals. So this was a slight, how to say, introduction or background about this qualification. There was a time in 2000, I remember, there were two short qualifications by ACCA. One was called DipIFR, which is this one we are talking about. And there was another called DipFM, Diploma in Financial Management. And it had two parts, part 1 and part 2. So I remember, if I'm not mistaken, in 2010 or in 2011, ACCA just made this announcement that they are going to stop these two qualifications, because these two qualifications were cannibalizing ACCA professional qualification. When I say ACCA professional qualification, I mean those 13 exams. So at that was a time when ACCA was thinking that many people are not taking or doing ACCA. They are doing DipIFR, DipIFR, they get financial reporting knowledge, and then they take DipFM, Diploma in Financial Management, and they just, kind of avoid doing ACCA. So they said, we are going to stop these two qualifications in a year's time or so. And then what happened, that in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, or 11, they actually stopped this qualification. So DipFM is no more there. Diploma in Financial Management is no more offered by them. It was there 2 parts. Now it is not there. But DipIFR, they continue to offer because it is very valuable and it is actually needed for the promotion of, and how to say, transition of this IFRS. So what we learn in DipIFR, the standards, the syllabus in detail, if we talk about. So these are all the standards which we are going to discuss. I have put them on 2 sheets. Some of them are more important, some of them are less important. Some of them are more important in real life and more important from exam point of view. Some are rather less important. By the way, before I move on, okay, that I will discuss a little later. So this is international sources of authority. This talks about the regulatory framework, which means the organization, the body which creates or develops the standards. Then you've got IFRS 15 revenue, IS 16 PPE, 36 impairment, IFRS 16 leases, IS 38 intangibles, IS 2 inventory, IFRS 9 financial instrument, IS 37 provisions, employment, employee benefits, IS 19, taxation, IS 12, foreign exchange 21, agriculture or biological 41, share-based payment 40, IFRS 2, fair value measurement, IFRS 3. Among these, which are more important, I will just put, one more thing. This standard is very important. This standard is very important. This is very important. This is very important. This is very important. Very important. Actually, on this page, all of these are important. Yeah, except this one. Okay, let's call like this. 12 is rather less important. 6 is rather less important. Fair value measurement is also, it's important, but it's not separately tested. So these 3 standards actually on this page are rather, I would say that they are less important. All others are very important. But of course, we will make filter as we move on. Then you've got here part 2, presentation of financial statements. So here we talk about the structure and presentation, then EPS, IS 33, events after the reporting period, IS 10, IS 8, which is changes in accounting policies, estimates and errors, related party disclosures 24, IFRS 8 operating segments, and then we talk about SMEs. IFRS for SMEs for small and medium sized enterprises. So this is actually the same. There are no separate standards for that. When you say IFRS for SMEs, so you do not have a different set of standards. You have the same standards, but the requirements are slightly more flexible and which are easy to apply. You can call it a simplified version of the same standard. Then you've got consolidation. And these are the standards which are involved in consolidation: IFRS 10, IS 27, 28, IFRS 3, IFRS 11 is for joint ventures. So this is your entire syllabus. Of course, in exam, not everything is going to be tested. Exam structure is like exams are held twice a year, which is June and December. I remember that, last month in one of our WhatsApp groups, one of our students, he mentioned that he saw somewhere that September DipIFR exam is also available. I have not seen it. I mean, all other ACCA exams are held 4 times in a year: March, June, March, what happened? June, September, and December. So 4 sessions exams are there. But for DipIFR, historically, I mean, ever since I started teaching it in 2006, it was also always held June and December. But like I said that last week, one of our students or participants, he mentioned in our WhatsApp group that he was trying to register and he saw the option for September as well, which I'm not sure, I cannot verify it. I need to see it. But generally it is June and December. It's a 3 hours exam and it will have 4 questions of 25 marks each. First question number 1 is always about consolidated financial statements. And then question 2 and 3 will have part A, part B, part C, sometime part A and B. And it is a mix of, some calculation and some discussion part. And question number 4 is all discursive. So discussion is here, a little bit of discussion is here. I can see DipIFR as 60 to 65% calculation. 60 to 65% goes to numbers. And you can say that 35 to 40%, it goes to, theoretical part or discussion. This structure also was changed. Now 4 question structure changed in 2020, I think, late 20 or 21. Before, what happened, that question before was also 4 question like this. But what happened, that question number 1, consolidation, was 40 marks. And all 3 other questions were 20 marks each. This is, I think, until 2020, late 2020. So this is how it made 100 marks. Consolidation was 40 marks. Now consolidation is also 25 marks. So what does that mean? It means that consolidation question is still there. You can be sure that when you go to exam, the first question, question number 1, will be 40 mark, will be consolidation question, but it will be a 25 marks consolidation question. So they have made it slightly easy. Before, when it was a 40 mark question, that was quite complex. I remember that in 40 mark consolidation question, we used to have something like 12 or 13 additional adjustments. So within one consolidation question, they actually test all of these knowledge. I mean, many of these areas, they will test in consolidation. And therefore, we are going to do consolidation at the end of our syllabus. So I usually plan consolidation, how to say, somewhere middle of October. So from middle of October to middle of November, I will be finishing consolidation 1 month. Before that, until middle of October, like August, September, and half of October. So 2.5 months, I will be finishing all these standards, and consolidation I leave in the last month. Because when they give you consolidation question, they will give you, adjustments in that. And one adjustment would be about some some tangible, some PPE. One adjustment might come in. Maybe an adjustment comes in from IFRS 9, that the company or the parent or the subsidiary, they have issued some bonds, and then there are some calculations. A consolidation question might involve employee benefit, it might involve provisions, IS 37, it might involve deferred taxation issues, fair value issues. So these are the standards which will be again tested again. I mean, which will be tested again in your consolidation questions as well. So we cannot do consolidation questions before learning all the standards. One good news for you is that the consolidation questions which come here, um, they do not include, okay, number one, cash flow consolidation is not there. So you might be getting a consolidated statement of financial position, or you will get a consolidated statement of comprehensive income. Cash flow consolidation is not there. This is one good news. The second good news is that you will have the structure like parent and then a subsidiary, or maybe an associate, or you will have a structure parent and a subsidiary and then a subsidiary. These are the two possible structures you will get. Three companies: a parent which has interest in two subsidiaries, or a parent, this is less possible. Mostly it is parent which has interest in subsidiary, and a parent has interest in associate. So the parent is investing in subsidiary and the parent is investing in associate, or the parent is investing in two subsidiaries. This is an easy situation. There is a complex situation which you call sub-subsidiary, which means parent invest in subsidiary and then subsidiary invest in another subsidiary. So you call it sub-subsidiary. So sub-subsidiary calculations are slightly complex, but they are not part of the DipIFR syllabus. So this is the second good thing about consolidation. First, we don't have cash flows. Number two, we don't have sub-subsidiaries. The third thing which you should remember, that we call it, part acquisitions or part disposals, or change of boundary during the year, which means that a parent which has a subsidiary for the first 6 months, but then what happens, that parent acquires more shares during the year, and before it was an associate, and then it becomes a subsidiary. For example, a parent purchases 30% interest in some company P on 1st of January, and then P again purchases 30% more in, this was associate, and now he buys in July, he buys 30% more. So this associate becomes a subsidiary. So the change of status during the year. So what will happen if this happens? We call it change of boundary, because there is a boundary which is called 50%. So this also is not involved in consolidation. This is also how to say a good news, because here you need to do a separate calculation for the first 6 months, a separate calculation for the next 6 months. So it becomes slightly tricky. Anyways, first question is going to be consolidation. And all those people who really want to pass, they should be very good in consolidation, because it's a very, how to say, consolidation question could be long, it could be lengthy, but it's a very, how to say, expected scenario. We understand that it will be there. I cannot say that IFRS 15 will be there or not. And if IFRS 15 will be there, what type of question will come? I cannot say about any other standard. But about consolidation, I know that there are only two types of consolidation: balance sheet and income statement. And if balance sheet comes in, I need to do these adjustments. So I'm quite prepared mentally when I go to exam. Okay, I go and I see what comes, balance sheet, income statement, balance sheet, no problem. I just take out my mind, okay, in balance sheet, where do I start? I know exactly what to do. So consolidation question is like your, how to say, where you can bank on. So this is your syllabus and this is about your exam. When you take exam, within 6 weeks, the result is announced and you get a diploma in IFRS. That diploma will be, how to say, uploaded onto your profile in, and you in PDF format, you can download it and you can print it. Long ago, ACCA used to send hard copies. Now they do not send by hard copies by post. Before they used to send, now they don't. It's a valuable diploma. Anyways, result will be announced in 6 weeks time. For December session, you should be getting registered somewhere, end of October, or I'm not sure about the date, but usually it is 5 to 6 weeks before you need to book your exam. So you start your preparation now, end of July, August you study, September you study, middle of October you will see that I am going quite well. I will be, or I mean, I will be ready until December, and you make up your mind and you book your exam. If for some reason you feel in middle of October that you are not prepared, then you can go for the next year June session. Exam registration process, I will help you. I will assist you which documents are needed. In fact, I will show you, I'll make one video for you how to do that registration, on ACCA page, what type of information you need to put in and how do you do that. It is 129 pounds for student registration. This you will immediately pay when you register as a student. Once you get registered, they send you an email that you are registered with ACCA as a DipIFR student, and then they ask you to book your exam. So when you book your exam, you pay 65 pounds additional. So this is the two amounts you have to pay. And while booking your exam, you have an option to choose your exam center. And that is very important, to choose the correct exam center, because you might be on vacations, you might be on business trip on those particular dates. For example, exam is on 9th of December. So you should be knowing that where you are located in 9th of December. You can book exam in any given location which are in the list. And there are more than 100 locations. So, I mean, you might be going to vacations during December. So you can book the exam in that location and go there and take your exam. So it's quite flexible. This amount you pay immediately when you register as a student. It is, for example, you will do it in the beginning of October. And this amount, 65, you will pay 2 days before the last date of exam registration. And you will see if you are ready, you will book exam in December. If not ready, you will book it in June. This money will not be lost. This is your money. 129 remains in your account. Whenever you take exam, you pay 65 additional. So this is about exam format. Exam is not really very difficult. I would say that out of, okay, so pass marks are 50. There are 50 pass marks. You have to score 50% to pass the exam. And you have to, very committed to fail an exam. Passing is easy. You have to be very committed to fail an exam. Like, okay, I'm not going to touch the book. I don't want to study at all. And every day you have to tell yourself, don't study, don't study, don't study. That is the only way to fail. Starting today, now, how much time and effort is needed? What commitment is needed? So today is 27th of July, 2022. So we've got August, September, October, November, 4 full months. And in 2 months, there are 9 weeks. You've got approximately 18 weeks with you, okay? And 18 weeks, okay. If you could promise me that you can give 12 to 15 hours per week, that's all. 12 to 15 hours per week, I can give you a promise that you will surely pass with good result. So it's a two-way thing. 12 to 15 hours per week, you should be giving maximum. It does not require more than that. But I'm not saying per day. Okay. I don't say 2 hours per day, because I know that for working professionals, it is almost impossible to commit to something on daily basis, because we've got, a lot of things on our agenda. Yeah, but I can say that within a week, I can give 12 hours. So if you can give 18 times 12, this is the maximum effort which I require from you. And it will include everything. It will include everything, doing practice, reading book, watching the lectures, everything it will include. Because it makes something like 180 and then 216 hours it makes. And this 216 hours will include my live sessions with you as well. This is the maximum commitment I need from you, which is not really very difficult. I mean, this much you should be doing. So this is there. Practice will. This is another mistake that a lot of students, they come to the lecture, they watch, they listen to it, they participate, they feel that they are, they understand everything. Sometimes they read the book and they see that, okay, we are going good. Going good is not enough. Having knowledge is not enough. Application of knowledge is a different thing. So there is no way, maybe your knowledge is better than me. Maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you are Einstein, whoever you are. You need to do practice before you go to exam. You cannot pass exam without doing practice. So just forget it from your mind that I will, watch the video lectures or the question videos, or I will participate in classes and I will pass. You cannot, unless or until you do it with your own hand. It is impossible. You have zero possibility of passing the exam. And how much practice I expect you to do, apart from what we do together, I expect all of you people to do at least 30 to 35 questions on your own. This much of questions you need to do. I mean, I'm talking about where I get 100% assurity. I don't like to take chances. Okay, I have an exam, I go to exam, after exam I say, let's see what happens. It's not a gamble that let's see what happens. When you are preparing, you are going to exam, you should come out, you should walk out and you will say that, I'm fine, I will pass 100%. There is no way that I will fail. Yeah, it is possible that I was expecting 70%, I might end up with 60%. But it's not like a gamble, or it's not a toss you are doing with a coin that maybe head will come, maybe tail will come. It has to be, it's a well-planned effort, 4 months effort. We know exactly what we are doing. Okay. So when I say 220 hours from your side, it makes your passing probability 100%. If you say I've got less time, maybe I'll spend 180 hours. So then your chances probably are 80% to pass. Somebody will say, no, I've got only 150 hours. You might be having a chances of 50% now. Okay, so it's all about, this is where maximum I believe that everybody will pass. And as you will decrease your contribution, your efforts, your possibility or your probability of passing exam will also go down. And the same goes with, when I say 30 to 35 questions you need to do on your own, with your hand, it is like giving you a guarantee of 100% passing. Okay, you say I did only 15 questions and I went to exam. Then your possibility of passing exam probably is not 100%. Maybe it is just 60%. It will depend on if exam comes out to be very easy, you are lucky, you will pass. If exam is slightly tricky, you are lost. So in order to be 100% sure, you have to do this many of questions. And doing 30 to 35 questions, if I assume one question is 1 hour, it means that 30 to 35 hours of practice with your own hand, yourself, okay?